Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Natalie Southgate. I'm the creator of Chakra Dance. Wanted to come in today and have a little bit of a chat around the sacral chakra. I've just run a workshop on it, and it's one of the chakras that a lot of people, particularly women, can have a little bit of an imbalance in. Just a lot of it's got to do with cultural conditioning and family histories and all sorts of things like that. So just wanted to do a little bit of a chat around it, share some tips and guidance and ways that you can start healing this. But I want to begin with this. I want you just to take a moment and tune into how you feel, very much what this chakra is about, how you feel when I talk about what this chakra is about, because this is the watery world. The element with this chakra is water, the watery world of our feelings, our emotions, our sensuality, our sexuality, passion, pleasure, desire. Just take a moment. How does this make you feel? Okay, is this something that you go, yeah, I feel really at home with everything you're talking about. This is something I have a lot of in my life. This flow is there in my life. Or is this, when I say all of this, is there a little bit of a, I don't have much of that going on in my life? Or, there's an uncomfortable feeling. And look, if you are the second one, if you are like a little bit uncomfortable, or you feel like that's not how your life is flowing, rest assured you're not alone. I've worked with hundreds of thousands of women over the last 30 years now, and it's something that many struggle with, and it comes back to this imbalance in the sacral chakra. And it's normally from experiences that we've had, so it's unresolved trauma, it's unprocessed feelings, and so on. So and there's a lot of personal trauma and history we go through, and then there's the collective understanding of this as well, because this chakra is very much related to the inner divine sacred feminine energy. And when I talk of feminine, I don't mean gender. Okay, it's we all have feminine and masculine qualities. Jung calls it the anima and the animus, and it's about, this chakra is about really connecting in with that feminine. And we know from history what's gone on in the world. There's a lot of distortion, a lot of wounding around the feminine and what it is to be feminine as well. And this can kind of distort this chakra as well. And I think there can be this tendency to think of the feminine as being soft and sweet and delicate, sensitive and nurturing. And yes, that is all part of the feminine, but the feminine in her fullest, wildest, most raw form is so much more than that. She really is. She's the life force energy. If you've given birth, anyone that someone that's given birth, the energy that's involved in that. There's a life force energy. She is fertile, she is creative, she is intuitive, she is passionate. Okay, she can also be untamed and wild. There's a dark feminine, the dark goddess, the fierce feminine, the protective feminine. Think of a mother with her kids, wolf with her cubs, like that fierceness. These are all aspects of the feminine that sadly over the years have been lost and distorted for a whole load of reasons. So the key is to start releasing and removing the layers of distortion that we are holding within us, okay, and to open back up to the wild, sacred feminine that was known many, many thousands of years ago, okay, this beautiful goddess energy that is there. And I really believe that in so much of the healing work that we're doing today on the planet, it's about this. It's the rise of the sacred feminine again, within men and within women, okay? Because it's an energy, if we want a passionate and pleasurable and harmonious, connected, intuitive life, we need this energy. So we need her, the world needs her. So it all starts with us individually to heal this. And it can be challenging. If you've had, sexual trauma or trauma on any level that's unprocessed, there's a tendency to block this down, okay, and to hold on to it and to stop that natural flow of feelings, of sensual energy, of desire, of pleasure. We stop that flow. Okay, we freeze it, we trap it in because we don't want to feel the pain. So there is a level of starting to unravel this, to actually release our personal conditioning, trauma we may be holding on to, and the collective wounding that's gone on around this. And there are lots of different ways of doing this. Obviously, chakra dance is a prime way to do this. It's a key to what we do. So much of this movement, we hold so much of this in our bodies. But there are some other ways, you know, dance, movement, anything that brings that flow back into your body is going to help. As I said before, the element is water. So really connecting in with this element in any form. If you live by an ocean, get in it, walk by it, visualize it. Even when you're having a shower, you can visualize this beautiful water cleansing and clearing. And a lot of it's about intention, okay? No matter what kind of water source you can get to, connecting with that more will start to release a lot of this sacral energy. The color connected is orange. You can tell by the orange I've got going on in the room. Color all holds vibrational frequencies. So any of these little things that we can do are starting to activate the energy in that chakra. So there's lots of little gateways, you know, things like mantras. There's all sorts of things that you can do. But, you know, other practical things in the outer world, this chakra is about passion. You know, what is it that lights you up? What is it? And do you even know one? That can be a big one. Some people I speak to go, I have absolutely no idea. I go to work, I come home, I do cook dinner, I do everything. I don't know what lights me up. I haven't got time to think about what lights me up, you know? So this is all dampening the sacral chakra. So if you really don't know, a lot of it can be found in childhood. Go back and think about what lit you up as a kid. You know, what was the things that as a kid you just naturally did? It could have been drawing. It could have been out on the swings. It could have been like, what was it for you? And then find a version of that. It doesn't have to be the exact thing, but what was it about that? Was it the freedom? Was it the creativity? Was it the connection with other people? Like what is it? That can start to lead you back to what is it that lights you up? You might want to experiment. Like I recently got some roller skates. Like, let's see where that takes me. But you know, what's that freedom? What's that almost childlike joy that can actually start to bring that energy back up again? And once you know what that is, to actually bring more of that into your life, to allow that, even if it's in small doses to begin with, into your life. So just doing more nurturing things for yourself. A lot of the feminine, to be honest, is about coming back to the truth of who you are. You know, in our workshop this morning, we were talking about how, you know, we're all a different version. It'll be different for each of us. And it's about finding what makes you feel most in touch with that flowing, sensual, sexual, passionate part of you. There will be a uniqueness to that. So really trusting yourself. I often say it's not about how you wear your clothes. It's about how you wear your soul. You know, it's about coming back in and letting your soul in and embodying it from there. So there's a lot of different ways, working with different goddesses. Obviously, there's different aspects of the feminine. You know, some are more in tune with fertility, others are more creativity. You know, there's others are passion. There's different ways, so you can actually tune into different goddesses. We do a lot of that in chakra dance as well. And just, I guess, being that, finding something that is really a healthy pleasure for you. I think so many of us just deny ourselves pleasure. You know, and just what is that for you? Nurturing. It might be eating beautiful food. It might be for me, it's about giving myself time, to giving myself some space and time. That is like the healthiest pleasure I can give myself, which I try and do every Sunday. I try and have a couple of hours on my sun lounger with a book by the pool. That's my Sunday afternoon, most Sundays. That's my little bit of pleasure, because that I really try and honor and give to myself, because I know what that does for me. I know that feeds me. So what's your equivalent of that? Is it a walk in the forest? Is it, you know, connecting with a friend for coffee? Like, it can be, what's a healthy pleasure? This is all starting to move the energy in the sacral. And when the energy starts to heal here, this is where you do have this more passionate, vibrant, pleasurable life. For me, I see it almost like going from living life in black and white, if we get stuck in the kind of survival of every day and not bringing in the pleasure, to moving into color. Okay, so if you want a colorful life, a passionate life, this is the sacral chakra. This is the chakra you want to be in. It's in the hips. How many of us have these stiff hips? You know, this is why in chakra dance, a lot of it's almost like moving like a belly dancer, starting to free up what we've been holding in our hips. So just a few little ways to get started. I think I might run an event around this. I think it's so needed at the moment. So I'll keep you posted on that divine feminine event. I can feel coming in right now. So I'll keep you posted on that. But in the meantime, if you can take these small steps so that you can start to feel this beautiful energy, sending you many blessings.